Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Stretford End. And on this cold winter day, probably in Cape Town, we are definitely going to have a huge match coming up later on today at 6:30, and that is against Manchester City, the Manchester Derby, and it's going to be at the Etihad Stadium, and that is something that is really big because Man City have been in unreal form, literally 21 straight wins. They haven't been behind, since I think what December. So they've shown formidable form, and it definitely will be a test for us to see how far we have come as a team. And our performances haven't been great of late. Three goalless draws kind of shows that I guess we good defensively, but we seem not to be able to have the transition from defense to attack. And that's mainly because of our midfield. We've lost quite a few players. I think ever since Pogba's injury, that shows we're missing him because him and Bruno kind of created this nice little double pivot up front for us to have creation from. And we also had more options. And Pogba creates something out of nothing. Yes, he's had his off-field problems, etc. But he has shown, when he came back that he wanted to play for us, and he shows that in his performances. And we will miss him today. That's a definite. But just a quick one on a predicted starting 11. I do know that Dean Henderson will start. It's been made clear, that David de Gea has a daughter. All blessings to him and to his partner, and definitely, all the best for them raising their child. And that definitely leaves the door open now for Dean Henderson to show that he is quality enough to be our number one for years to come. And it is definitely his chance now, and hopefully he will take it, especially today. A big test for him because he will be against it. City will have possession of the ball more. We definitely will have to counter attack and go to the Ole of old or the United of old and just absorb, try and frustrate them, try and push them into wide areas where they don't want to be, and not wide by our box where they can still get across in. Wide as in wide away from our defensive area. We want to frustrate them, we want to press them high, and try and win the ball. We're going to have to do that because we're going to have to show more aggression, and that is the only way we are going to get something out of this game. If we allow them to play and get their rhythm, then it literally could be a loss for us. But whatever happens, you know, we definitely have to show pride. We definitely have to show that we can and definitely will be able to challenge them, and compete with them. We have the players, we definitely can do so. We just haven't been at our best. And, there's a point that I want to make. Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, even Spurs, they, languishing in the lower parts of the log. But we are the ones that are laying second, and yet people are saying we have a crisis. We are in trouble. Oli, doesn't know what he's doing, etc., etc. That is really people clutching at straws because if you say how far we have come, yes, we haven't won a trophy under Ole yet, and we have opportunities to do so now this season. But if you look at the progress, if you look at the players that he improved, the players that he brought in, the type of players that he still wants to bring in, the culture that he brought back, the Man United spirit, the never giving up, playing until the final whistle. And a lot of things, have impacted our season. There was no preseason. The players are getting tired now. Yes, there's a lot of excuses you can make, but you have to remember these are human beings. These are people that have families. They're people that also need to rest. They also need to, take time for themselves. The mental side of the game is very important, and people and supporters don't tend not to understand that, and they need to understand that look, players like Martial, last season he was up there with our top scorers, him and Rashford and Green were unstoppable. And this season is just, ever since the red card against Tottenham in the 6-1 defeat, it just hasn't worked for him. But you need to look at the things, the confidence issues, because Cavani came in, which was supposed to, you know, make him a better player, but it takes time because confidence is a big thing. You know, his performances haven't shown it, but he definitely, improves more, when he plays. And you see, he's the one trying the 1-2s and everything, and he's trying, but it just doesn't seem to work out for him. But that's throughout the entire team. You know, it's basically the entire team is tired. They are trying to win games on their own. There's no cohesion, there's no team spirit. And it seems to me that we have lost that in the last few games. But we will definitely have an opportunity to, change that fortune, to change our mindset, to actually push on and actually win today's game. We can do it. It is in our hands, and we have the ability, and we definitely do have the quality. We just have to take the chances when we get them and be clinical up front, because defensively we've looked good. I mean, 3-0 draws shows 3 clean sheets. So it shows that we can keep the opposition out. We just have to take our chances up front. So in the defensive line, there'll probably be Luke Shaw. I'm hoping that he's going to play Bailly and Maguire, but he probably might start Lindelof if Lindelof is fit, because that is his favorite pairing. And then obviously on the right back, we have Wan-Bissaka. Now for the two in midfield, he most probably will go for Fred and McTominay, but I feel that perhaps Fred hasn't been performing well. He's been quite bad of late, if I have to be honest. His performances haven't been good. The passes that he makes, he's good aggressively and, his defensive side, but he just hasn't been, the player that we need to link the midfield to the attack. And perhaps maybe we can go with Matic and McTominay. McTominay can do all the running that Matic used to do 5 years ago. All Matic used to do is sit and pick up the loose ball. He's there for, in the box, in terms of an aerial threat, because he is taller than Fred, and he's able to clean up, and he can deliver a good pass when needed. And he's able to hold on to the ball much better than what Fred is. So perhaps maybe Matic and McTominay, and then obviously Bruno in the number 10. Yes, normally I prefer to go with one defensive midfielder after playing against City, and we need to, close their midfield, because we do know that Gundogan and De Bruyne will probably start for City. So we do need to ensure that they don't get the time on the ball that they usually get, and we need to nullify the two of them so that they cannot supply, their front three. And moving forward, obviously, I would like to see Rashford on the left. And for the right-hand side, I want to go with Daniel James. And the reason for this is because he has got good energy. He's able to press. He always runs. Defensively, he helps out as well. So I think we should go with Daniel James on the right. And up front, I don't think Cavani is going to be fit, because he was not in the traveling squad with the team. So perhaps Martial might start up front. And it is again an opportunity for him to, show his worth and to show that he can, you know, play. I mean, last season he, scored goals for fun, and he scored against City, and it shows that he can, play against the big team. So hopefully today will be a change of fortune for us, and we will definitely see a stronger and better United that we know we can be, because we know the quality is there. We just haven't been clicking as of late. But what better way and what better game to fire ourselves up and to completely give ourselves a new challenge, a new impetus for the rest of the season. Because if we get a win in this game, or even a draw, I mean, yes, it sounds a bit sad to say that, but if we get a win or a draw, which is positive results, then it definitely gives us confidence leaving forward for the next couple of games, and it will allow our players to realize that, what, we actually can do this. So I trust that we all will enjoy the game later on. We definitely hope that we will win. That is what we always go into every game hoping for. And I thank you guys for watching the video and for joining me today. And that continue to like the videos. Please subscribe and definitely click the notification bell so that you guys can be firstly notified of when videos do get uploaded from the Stretford Inn. But that is it from me, your host Sasson Johnson, and the Stretford Inn. Goodbye.